everybody and welcome. Thank you for joining me for some body rolling. So I'm going to start, it's actually quite hard to pack everything into a short video, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to show you, first of all, the difference between the ball and the roller. So this is kind of part of my morning routine. I would get up every day and I like to use the roller for a quick roll out. So if I usually start on my front and I do the front of my legs, so rolling just basically up and down using my elbows, and you'll find you can sort of go as far as where it's comfortable. So you probably got your pubic bone kind of in the way there, so up the top of the leg and then down towards the knee, and you can go right down to the knee, and it's quite nice pressure with the roller. I have two different sizes. Doesn't really make much, a whole lot more difference really, but whatever you've got, I kind of prefer these only because I can pack more into the car when I'm teaching classes. So quick roll down the legs with those. I also like to do the front of the, so I've got down as far as knees. I also like to do the front of the shins. So I'll come up onto my knees and roll out this whole area here, because you can get a nice, you hold it and press, stretch down the front of the shins, which just gets really tight as well. These are called our shock absorbers. Right down to the ankles, and then stretching out the toes. This is a really good one, just to get a really good, our ankles get so stiff and tight, especially if you do a lot of walking and running. So I'm doing this all very quickly too, so I'm just to give you a quick run through, but I would recommend doing it a little bit more slowly yourself whenever you do your body rolling at home. So then switching to the ball, I do like the ball because you can get into different areas more easily that you can't get into with the roller. So I'm going to start, I'm just turning around because I'm going to start on my my right hip. So if I look down, left side, right side, on the right hip. So this is the area you can't really get into with the roller because it's not comfortable, but you can with the ball. So I would start with the ball right on the right hip, so that big bone that sticks out right onto the hip, that hip bone, right onto the ball. And I would just hold it there and breathe a little bit. Now this starts to free up the hip flexors and muscles down the front of the legs, but it also is really good for digestion, especially if you start on the right hip. And you can actually roll the ball slightly into the lower belly. So I'm just rolling from the hip bone a fraction in, so maybe like just 1 centimeter in, and I'm sinking down here and breathing. You could lie right over the ball like this as you're doing this. This might not be the most comfortable thing to do, so it doesn't have to be for very long, but that's really good for your digestion, to get the blood there, really good for getting the digestive system going, boosting your digestion. So from the hip bone, then I'd start to roll down the leg, and I'd work down the front of the leg. So there's different variations you can do. You can just hold and press, or what I like about the ball as well that you can't really do on the roller is you can do transverse track friction right across the leg. So you can roll from side to side, basically across the leg. The roller goes up and down, the ball you can do side to side, and you can feel all the tight muscles more easily on that. So again, on the right side, I put my elbow, right elbow down, left hand is down in front of me, and I'm just going to use that left hand, if you can see it better, like this. I'm using my left hand to help me to roll. So I'm rolling from side to side. You can't really see it like that, but that's what I'm doing with my hand. I've got one elbow down, and then rolling side to side across the front of the leg. Take your time and you'll feel all the little ridges and bumps as you go along. And then roll back. And you can come off here. Like I said, I like to do the front of the shin as well. It's just a little bit easier with the ball, it's a little softer. Holding and pressing. Right the way down. Stretching the toes over. Okay, good. And then always do both sides. So now I'm doing the left leg. So the ball goes on the right onto that left hip bone, the big bone, just let it sit on the bone first of all, and stretch out over it and relax down. Breathe. Yeah, this just starts to free up the whole leg basically, and then you can move a millimetre or so into the lower belly, so the ball is just coming into this part of the lower belly here, just here, so still touching the bone. And you can just do this for a breath or two if it's your first time. Again, really good for digestion, also good for the reproductive system, just gets the blood moving around the organs. Back onto the bone again, and then start to move down the leg. And now we're doing the transverse friction, so elbow on the floor, left elbow, right hand on the floor, and you're just rolling the ball across the top of the leg, side to side. Okay. And you go the whole way down towards the knee, running out of space here, and then once you get to the knee, you can roll out the leg. So just making longer, freer muscles down the front of the leg. We're always focusing on the hamstrings, but I just thought I'd show you pretty much what you can do down the front of the leg with the ball. Great if you've been doing lots of exercise, running, walking, frog pose, which we do a lot in yoga. Okay, then let's see. What I like to do is go up the back. So we've got the roller here, so you can put it at the back of the ribs like this. And support the head in your hand. Lift your feet up and just roll from the base of the ribs to the top. So your feet are on the floor. If you're new to this takes a little bit of practice. But once you've got the knack of it, it's like riding a bike. It's like you're like, all right, I got it now. So you're pressing your feet into the floor, and you're just really using, you're trying to roll from the base of the ribs right to the top of the ribs. Like that. And then put the hips down the floor and lean back over the roller and work your way along the upper back, chin to chest, roll back. Okay, so quick roll out with the roller. You can finish up with the roller right up at the top of the neck here, and just turn your head from side to side, which is a nice way to finish. So you're massaging the top of the neck. Let's see if we've got time. I'm going to show you quickly how to do this with the ball as well. So we're starting off, start down off at the glutes and roll into the glutes. And then you want to calm down. So now you're sitting and the ball is on the floor, and you're just pressing and releasing, pressing and releasing. So I'm going through this all quite quickly. I'm going to slowly roll up your back. But I do go into all of this a bit more slowly and a bit more detail in my yoga bodyrolling program, online program. So just give me a bit of a taster. So I'm just rolling right up on the right side of the spine, just into the muscles on the right side of the spine. Now you can sink and kind of pull the muscles away from the spine as well, which is nice with the ball. So you're pressing in at the side of the right side of the spine, and then you're rolling across towards the shoulder blade as you go further on up. Press, just hold it, press, and sort of peel it away. This is really nice between the shoulder blades. Again, it might take a little bit of practice. And then you get right up into the back of the neck, press a few times on the side of the neck, right up to the hairline. Okay, and then we'll do that. Hopefully it's time to squeeze in the other side. So, glutes, roll that all out, lifting up the glutes. and then start to roll. So you're rolling, now you're sitting on the floor and the ball is coming into the lower back. And you're just pressing back and releasing a few times. Press and release. So using your tummy muscles, press and release. This can be quite hard. Sorry, keep on saying it's quite hard. Just when you're first getting used to it, so that you need some stomach strength to get this lower back part going. It does get a bit easier once you get to this part between the shoulder blades, and then sink and roll the muscles from the spine over towards the shoulder blades. Sink and roll like that. And keep going, so you're just massaging that area between the spine, left side of your spine now, and your left shoulder blade, and work your way up until you get up into the back of the neck, and then from here press and release a few times. And notice how lovely and flat your back is now on the floor. Press and release. So your whole back is being released. It's nice sometimes just to finish with the ball right at the top of the neck, so it's like right in the middle. Just hold it here. And it's also nice, you could bring the soles of your feet together and drop your knees out to the side. So we've done a little bit so you can see better. And you could just relax like that. So you've massaged out the front of the legs and then the whole of the back and the neck. And then relax here for as long as you can.